Okay, next story, which is a lot lighter.
Lighter. This is great news that's coming here. Not, folks, I know not everybody writes notes, and I know everybody takes notes. You need to right now, and you can always rewind later. Piece of paper, pencil, pen, marker, crayon. Take your lipstick right on the wall, whatever it takes. There is a Ghostbusters remake coming out July 2016. Oh, I'm spent.
Mark it on your calendar.
Oh, mark it on your calendar. Kalagunga is coming.
Kalagunga.
It's coming.
Well,
it is coming.
I am not thrilled about it.
I'm not thrilled, but
I am such a Ghostbusters fan. Old school Ghostbusters. They're the original, the one, the only, and now they're doing it with women.
Women, yeah.
Women.
Well, I mean, I got
Melissa
nothing against that either, but you already got your mind set on
who it's supposed to be.
Yeah, who it's supposed to be. So it's like, but they waited way too long.
Yeah.
For, a Ghostbusters reunion. And the one guy's dead now. I mean, they should have done it 10 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe he could be in it. He could be a ghost.
I mean, and of course, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray are both, they're getting older. They probably think, roles probably. But they could have did something. I mean, Rocky's still making movies at 65, so why not?
Dan Aykroyd actually is co-writer and producing this movie, and Bill Murray is going to do a guest appearance. So,
there you go.
But I like Melissa McCarthy. I like
Everybody
Kristen
likes
Wiig.
Aykroyd. Aykroyd's going to get
Thor is going to be in it.
Thor, get out.
Yeah, well, not really Thor, but the guy who plays Thor.
That's your guy.
Yeah, it is. Megan Fox is your chick. Fox. What does the fox say? Ding, 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 ding. I didn't plan that.
I know you didn't.
You like Megan Fox and I like Thor. Oh, Fox. What does the fox say? Ding, 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 ding. That's such a fun song. Okay, so yeah, I like the chicks that are in it, but I don't know if I'm going to go see it. I might be a holdout.
Well, we'll have to see what the reviews.
Yeah, wow, that doesn't.
Maybe we should be reviewers, TV reviewers, or movie reviewers.
Yeah.
We could be paranormal TV reviewers.
I like that. We could do a review of certain shows and stuff.
Yeah, because I used to have Cisco and
Ebert.
I mean, now they did TV, and we don't want to repeat everything they did. So let's just do something different.
Movies,
right? Right.
I like it. Oh,
or copyright.
Can't take it. No stealing. Same seats.
That's it. Okay.
I like it. Well, anyway, so they tried to get all the original cast to make a Ghostbusters 3, is it, ahead of time, but Bill Murray wouldn't sign on. That's why they didn't do it. And then Harold Ramis dies.
Why wouldn't Bill Murray sign on?
He wouldn't sign on because of a couple of reasons. One, because I guess Ghostbusters 2 didn't do so well, and he was like, okay, third one's going to suck. And he didn't want that. He's not into the money or anything. He's actually, like this serious actor, even though you wouldn't guess that. He takes acting seriously, I should say. But he said their concepts for the movies were too crazy. Like, he said, in one, Venkman was going to be a ghost, and he was haunting the other Ghostbusters. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then they were going to do something with the Ghostbusters being, like, in this different dimension. He's like, way too wacky. No. So, and then there was the third one that they were writing, and I think Harold Ramis or Dan Aykroyd they were writing that one, and I don't know what happened to that. But, so they just swiped the slate clean, and now they're doing chicks. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. But I guess Dan Aykroyd is pumped about this. He says it's going to be awesome. He's co-writing it, so he probably thinks it's great.
Well, yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe?
Hey, you never know. You never know.
I like your idea. So. Okay. So again, now to something more serious. The Slender Man case. These girls are going to be tried as adults. If anybody's not familiar, it actually happened here in Wisconsin. 2 12-year-old girls, they plotted the murder of a classmate for days. They did the sleepover, and then in the AM, they lured her in the woods and attacked her and stabbed her 19 times. Scary. So they said they did it for this fictional horror character named Slender Man, and a lot of paranormal people know who that is. He's, this fictional character, and some people say he's not fictional.
And this was their friend.
This was their classmate. Yeah, they were friends. And I'm going to put pictures up on Facebook of some of these things that they wrote. They actually made, like you would make a grocery list, they actually made a list of things they needed. Kitchen knife, cookies for when they, left. And they were saying that they believe that Slender Man was going to hurt them and their family if they didn't do this. And some of the stuff they were writing in their notebooks, they would just take one whole page and write 5 or 6 words and that was it. But it's almost like this demon or fictional character, whatever, is writing it instead of them, because it's saying what they're writing would be like a third person saying it, not the girls. So it's sort of interesting because
there's quite a bit of.
I believe it's a demonic spirit.
Yeah, this case is definitely. I mean, unfortunately, these girls are
12 years old.
They did what they did,
adults.
but there's always more to it.
Well, first their lawyers are trying to find them in like insanity plea, but that was turned down because
they're sane.
Yeah, they're saying they're sane. But so now they were going to try them as juveniles, but now the judge says no, we're trying them as adults. If they're being tried as adults, they get 65 years. Okay, if they're juveniles, they're going to be out in a couple years, and they're saying, you know what, these girls aren't safe enough to be, tried. You got to throw them in there, and so you've got two things. So the question is, if they believe that he wasn't real, why would they go kill somebody? If you think this person is fictional, you're not really going to kill somebody. Well,
there's a lot more to the story, and we have covered this story before, and so that's something you guys can look up on the Slender Man thing and see some of the details surrounding this story. That
definitely demonic.
There's a lot of flags going up, especially in a spiritual manner.
Mm-hmm.
You say, because you're not judging this as a spiritual thing, you're not going to be looking at it that way.
Yeah.
You're going to judge them as, this is what you did and you planned it. Yeah, they did, but let's look at who these girls are. Let's look at some of their drawings and some
mutilated
of their things.
Barbie dolls.
Yeah, some of the things they were doing. It's like, where was the flags and the parents saying, this isn't normal?
Well, one of the parents was into Slender Man.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you go.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. And I also think, too, well, what do you think? Do you think, okay, since they're not being tried because of spiritual aspects, so our spiritual aspects, they're always going to be considered mental illness.
Well, the thing is, too, is with this, here's the drawback to spiritual things like this is, here you go, stick these girls in, let's say, till they're 18. Mm-hmm. Well, is it gone?
Right. Is the spirit gone? Is it
gone?
Dormant?
It'll stay dormant. I heard it before. It just stays dormant, and then it comes back.
Right.
It's going to revisit you.
And that's why there are so many haunted mental institutions that are abandoned, because where do these spirits go where these mentally ill, and I'm not saying every single person that's mentally ill is possessed by a demon or, whatever, but there are a lot of dark spirits that are with mentally ill people. That's why they're mentally ill, because of the spirits. And so when they die, these spirits are there. That's why these places are haunted. So yeah, exactly. What are these girls going to do? So let's say someone is spiritually oppressed and they go around killing people. Is that a mental illness then, or you mean they don't?
I believe
they don't have a jail for the spiritually oppressed. I mean, that stinks.
I mean, I understand there's murders that have taken place, throughout all of history, and sometimes murders and some things that go, are just revenge.
Right.
You tick me off. This happened. It got out of control. That's called life.
Right.
Then we have some of these mutilations and plannings and carvings and collectings and pictures, and it takes a little bit more to get to that level. How were they raised? What happened? I mean, what's been brought into their life to make them who and what they've become? Because in some of these cases, even with the serial killers, a lot of them don't even see a real problem with what they've done. It's like, that's what I do.
Yeah. Right, that's just, it's weird, the bad seed type thing.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just a bad person.
Yeah, I agree.
It takes a lot to get to that
level.
level.
The Bible says we don't war against flesh and blood.
Right.
We war against
principalities and powers. There's more to it.
Dark principalities, bad
ones.
But,
the world wants to always say, well, this is what we do. When you do something bad, this is what we do.
Right,
well,
you have to be judged.
There's reasons for this. And I'm not saying you let these people go. Absolutely not. But there may be other means spiritually and help for them.
You know what my perfect job would be? What I would love to do? I'd love to see this all around the world.
I know what it isn't.
Cleaning. I knew you were going to say that. I hate cleaning.
Yeah.
But, so, mental institutions where they've got doctors, psychiatrists, they've got yoga. I mean, all kinds of things. I would love to see...
Yoda?
No, not Yoda. Yoga.
Yes, Yoda do yoga.
Could you imagine? He does those flips and stuff. He don't need to do yoga. He is all over the place. So I would love to see somebody come in there like us, helping people spiritually. So, okay, maybe you do have a mental illness, but let's bring somebody in who knows their stuff and see. Is there something demonic going on? Because what if you were to, like, how many times in the Bible was there somebody who was demonically oppressed? Once that demon was gone, those people were perfectly fine.
Right.
You know, so.
Perfectly fine. We got cases in the Bible talking about, a guy in a cave, cutting himself daily, and they had to go put him on an island by himself because he couldn't be controlled.
Yep.
And that was cast out of him.
Yep.
You're saying, well, that's the Bible, we don't believe it. Well, you know what? You better start believing something, because you will fall for everything.
You know what I find interesting is, so, paranormal investigators, they research books, they watch TV shows, they get all this information, and they sort of come up with their belief system on what's what. But the original spiritual book is the Bible. Because if you go back to that, there's tons of stuff about this.
Get down with B-I-B-L-E. Get down with B-I-B-L-E. Come on, one B-B-B.
Scott,
what?
Are you trying to be a Christian rapper?
Yeah. No.
You know what I'm saying? So we found so many answers in the Bible versus all these different books. And that's what's always helped us. But, so, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
It is.
All that
There's
whole
a
spiritual
whole lot
oppression.
more to it, and it can be addressed in a different way. Obviously, the way that society has been dealing with it by incarcerating these people for all of eternity and spending X amount on taxpayers and doing all this, and they don't even do anything constructive the whole time they're in there. It's like, okay, and how did this help anybody?
Yeah, try it our way.
These people get used to their life in prison. Some people get so used to it that when they are let loose, they end up right back there because they don't even know how to live anyways.
And I've actually met, and we have, 2 clients who have finally said, you know what, doctor says something's wrong with me. I'm just going to be on these pills my whole life, and I'll be fine. And it's like, they're not cured.
No,
they just know how to deal with it. They're numb to it, and they have a miserable life because
you can only take ibuprofen so long for the pain. Why don't you go solve the problem?
And it's going to kill your liver.
Yeah.
So, and I guess in a way that kills your spirit, it kills your heart, because when you take all these drugs
Who
and
really
you just
likes liver anyway?
I don't like liver.
I hate it.
Ugh. Ew.
Liver and Brussels sprouts.
I like Brussels sprouts.
I hate Brussels sprouts. I don't even want to look at a Brussels sprout.
They look like little brains.
Oh, little cabbage brains.
They're good with butter.
Oh, God, why ruin a good butter?
I don't know. Okay.
Ew.
So another story we have, Vandal Ghost Hunters. This is
Vandal Ghost Hunters.
This is becoming a total trend.
What is?
Ghost hunters vandalizing places, and it's making.
Yeah, why is it becoming a trend? Why are they doing it?
I'm not big into ghost hunting. Paranormal investigating, depending on who's really doing it and why they're doing it.
Yeah, who's doing that?
So, but okay. So in England earlier this month, 4 guys watched Most Haunted. Imagine that, and they lived by a property that was featured on the show. I think it was like Annalise Hall or something, or Annesley Hall, and it's in Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire.
It's known to be haunted. So they decided to go do ghost hunting in there, and hey, let's sit and have a drink. Let's have a couple of beers with the ghosts. Hey! So they broke a wooden window.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Or they broke a window, wooden board around the thing to get inside. Someone saw and called the cops. So, now they're like, oh, well, we were just ghost hunting and having a beer. Right? Terrible. 2 guys break into this place, and they are trying to, say, oh, we're here to ghost hunt, but they really weren't. They just wanted a place to drink. Well, let's blame it on ghost hunting.
They're taking away good things that we did. Good old-fashioned,
fun.
Crawling in the dirt, crawling through the pricker bushes, just to see a good old, ghost.
Yeah.
Now, he's got to go ruining it. Nothing like a good Friday night levitation. No, but they got to go ruining it, busting up the place. Why?
There's always one in the
There's always one. That's why there's all these rules and laws.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Like the teeter-totter thing?
There would have been no need for a stop sign if everybody just would have stopped.
No one would have went anywhere. We got to have a little order.
I know.
We need a little order.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But, how many...
Why have these child-proof magic markers if you just taught the kid, don't write on the wall?
Hey, and kids aren't going to write on the wall because they're kids.
Oh.
But I hate when these people come out and, when we went to Mantino stuff, we didn't break any windows. We found ways, and if we couldn't get in, we tried another way. We didn't say, oh, we're going to break
anything.
Yeah.
And these buildings were scheduled for demolition anyway. So
Yeah.
we could have.
So,
We don't want to draw any attention to ourselves either.
yeah, try to be a little slick. And we didn't decide to park our butts and have a beer or lunch or either. You know,
No.
like, you know.
In fact, we were getting really hungry.
Yeah, we were there from like 8 at night to like 4 in the morning.